Ancient Rome, a flourishing republic turned into one of, if not the most powerful empires in history.
However, such power does not come without a price.
The Republic and Empire faced struggles domestically and on the frontier, as the government struggled not only to control more, but to control better. A classic example would be the social hierarchy which formed in Rome between the patricians, or the wealthier, more well-educated citizens of Rome, and the plebeians, who were the common, less educated peasants. Plebeians often worked long and hard hours for little pay on the land, owned by patricians. Plebeian is a broad term and encompassed everyone from slaves to poor Roman citizens. Patrician, however, was a very specific term. It referred only to wealthy male land-owning citizens. Oftentimes, these men held political power and offices.
Meanwhile, in the megapolis city of Rome, private armies owned by patricians clashed, making the city streets unsafe for the common populace of Rome. This inevitable clashing, caused by feuds concerning politics, money, and lands, was a highly heated debate in the Senate. Some of the Senate believed these conflicts could be avoided with the abolishment of private armies, but some believed that the army was essential. In these conflicts, the more well-funded army with superior weapons often ended up winning. But many of the issues facing Rome couldn't be solved by the unpractical methods and procedures of the Republic, including feuding senators. What led Rome to become the glorious empire it is so well known as was one man, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was one of the most powerful men in history. He single-handedly used his military conquest to become Rome's first emperor. As emperor, he greatly expanded Rome's territory and influence, but at the cost of poor government of Rome's citizens. Julius abused his newfound power and placed his lieutenants in positions of political power. In many ways, Julius Caesar took over Rome via a military coup. These new governors had little to no experience governing people, and because of this, many people received poor treatment, while the military presence in the areas governed by the new lieutenants became much more evident. In many ways, Julius's rise to power resulted in the metamorphosis of the Roman Republic into an empire. Julius elected himself to become a dictator, usually only used during wartime, but eventually got elected dictator for life. This unified the Roman Republic under Julius's rule, hence making important decisions much easier to make and in much less time, as well as transforming the Republic into an empire.
2, 1.
This change in government allowed Rome to prosper and to become the great civilization we all know it as. No empire lasts forever, though. Repeated assaults by barbarians from present-day Scotland, Germany, and Russia weakened the Roman legion's military might. In one battle, the legion decided it didn't need their armor. They were slaughtered accordingly. A series of natural disasters further weakened the legions. This and the Roman population refusing to conscript to the army led to the might of Rome to crumble.
The assassination of Julius Caesar, along with most of the future emperors being assassinated too, led to political instability inside of Rome, and this tempted outside forces to start attacking Rome. Between Hannibal and the crushing Punic Wars, slave revolts, and the Visigoths sacking Rome, Rome was crushed and eventually crumbled. In modern times, it might seem like the US and ancient Rome didn't have much in common. I mean, Julius and Brutus probably also held sky battles in the back of their palace, but there's a deeper connection between the US and Rome. Both civilizations control vast amounts of territories. The continental United States, Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and other territories amass to around 3.8 million square miles. The Roman Empire, at its height, encompassed 1.7 million square miles. While the U.S. is more than twice as large, the Roman Empire's art and architecture spread throughout Europe, Africa, and the New World. Both the Roman Republic and America have people unhappy with the government. Again, a completely happy population is close to impossible, but we must learn that an extremely unhappy population, like at the start of the decline of the Republic, combined with a low trust rate of the government, led to many problems. The Roman Empire made many mistakes which eventually led to its fall. We need to learn to make citizens happy, and not to make the same mistakes that we have in the past. The assassination of Julius Caesar also led to the reformation of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. Wealth will always create a barrier between rich and poor people. The way to create a prosperous, long-lasting empire is to minimize this barrier. Have few poor people and have more middle-class men. The U.S. has to focus more on the domestic issues rather than the military issues, because when you fail militarily, then the government will fail.